This class is for class 9th, and we are doing chapter number 20, that is statistics, and we are following the textbook ML Agrawal, Understanding ICSE Mathematics by ML Agrawal. Now in the previous class we have discussed about how to find out the mean and median of ungrouped data. Now in this class we will be discussing something about grouped data. Now grouped data is basically of two types. One is continuous and one is discontinuous. Discontinuous and continuous. Now what is the meaning of discontinuous and continuous? First of all, discontinuous is also known as inclusive data, and at the same time continuous is known as exclusive data. Now what is the difference between them? Suppose I am making just two class intervals. Let us say I am saying that there was a test in class 9th which was of 25 marks, and those marks I am dividing into 5 parts, means number of students who scored. Let us say this is my tally table, so this is my tally and this is my frequency. Now what it is, I have 25 students in my class, and I am dividing them. The marks are divided from the frequency 1 to 5, then 6 to 10, then 11 to 15, then 15 to 20, and 20 to 25. Now irrespective, we are not bothered about all these things, so I am not discussing anything about this. My main focus is on discontinuous data. Suppose a child gets 5.5 marks or 5.5 marks, so he cannot appear either in this part, or he cannot appear in this part. Why? Because if he is getting 5.5, it means his marks are greater than this upper limit of this, or his marks are 5.5 but he is getting 5, but his marks are 5.5, but here we can only accommodate 5 marks. So in this column he cannot enter. At the same time, the second table starts with 6, and 5.5 is less than 6. Therefore in this table also he cannot enter. So it means that this data or this class interval is discontinuous. It is not continuous. So we have to make it continuous. That will come later on, how to make the class a continuous one. Now let us talk about exclusive data, like exclusive. Now again I am writing class intervals, and here I am taking, let us say from 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and so on. Now if suppose I say that this is the weight of something, this class interval is representing weight. Suppose I have a weight that is 10.926 kilograms or whatever, or some units. So it can be accommodated in the second class, means it can be placed anywhere in these, because this type of data is continuous. I think you can make out what is continuous. It is ending here at 10 and again starting at 10, ending at 20, starting at 20, ending at 30, starting at 30. But here ending at 5 and starting at 6 makes gap of 1 unit as discontinuous. So what we do, we generally convert all the data that is discontinuous, we convert all the data into continuous. How do we do that? What we do, we find the difference. What we say, we find the difference, and that is known as adjustment factor. Adjustment factor. We find the difference, or we find the adjustment factor. I'll tell you how do we find the adjustment factor, and that adjustment factor is subtracted and added. Subtracted in all the lower limits. All these are the lower limits, and these are the, suppose I say 15 to 20. So 15 is the lower limit and 20 is the upper limit of the given, of a particular given class. 15 to 20. Suppose I'm talking about this. So 15 is the lower limit of this class and 20 is the higher limit of this class. So how do we find out the adjustment factor? Lower limit of one class, lower limit of one class minus upper limit of the previous class, minus upper limit of previous class divided by 2, or divided by 2. This is the adjustment factor. Suppose I talk about 11 and 15. So lower limit of 11 and 15 is 11 minus upper limit of previous is 10. 11 minus 10 upon 2, that is 1 upon 2, or that is 0.5. It means to make this class interval as continuous, what we should do? We will add and subtract. Means we are going to add and subtract. This was adjustment factor. Now to make it continuous, again class interval, what we do? We subtract at the adjustment factor from the lower limit and add adjustment factor to the higher limit. So 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5 and 5 plus 0.5 is 5.5. 6 minus 0.5 is 5.5 and 10 plus 0.5 is 10.5. Similarly, 10.5 to 15.5, 15.5 to 20.5 and 20.5 to 25.5. Now this has converted to exclusive or continuous. Exclusive. So this is how we convert inclusive to exclusive data, or discontinuous data to continuous data. Now if I say somebody is getting 5.5, so he will be easily adjusted in this or this. For this also I will be telling you one thing. Suppose a child scores 5.5 marks, or let's say 15.5 marks. 15.5 marks. So there is again a confusion whether he will come in this group or in this next group. So always, suppose any number x is there. This is your lower limit and this is your upper limit. So upper limit. This is your upper limit. So we always mark that number x as, suppose it is 15.5. So 15.5 is greater than equal to 15.5 and less than 20.5. It means 15.5 will not come in this group, it will come in this group. 15.5 will come in this group, like that. So this is also one thing. Now there are few things that I think we need to discuss. There are few definitions or something like that. Let me see what it is. First thing is upper limit and lower limit. So you know, suppose it is, I have taken a class 10 to 20. So this is your lower limit and this is your upper limit. This is the lower limit and upper limit. You know about the adjustment factor also. Adjustment factor is lower limit minus upper limit of the previous class upon 2. This is the adjustment factor. The meaning of adjustment factor. Now what is true lower limit and true upper limit? When a class is continuous, then its lower limit is also known as true lower limit and upper limit is known as true upper limit, because it is continuous. And if the class is given and it is non-continuous, then we will make, or we will change it to the continuous class, and then we will write its upper limit as a true upper limit and lower limit as a true lower limit, like that. Now one thing is there, what is class size? Class size. Suppose 1 to 5. So class size is The difference between actual upper limit and actual lower limit is known as class size. Now here it was 1 to 5, but this was discontinuous. So, and what is the meaning of class size? Class size means actual lower limit or true lower limit. In fact, I should have written true lower limit. It would have been true lower limit. True upper limit minus true lower limit is known as class size. Suppose 5.5 minus 0.5. First it was non-continuous, we converted to continuous, then from continuous we got a true lower limit and true upper limit. Then what is the class size? True upper limit, suppose in the first class it will be 5.5 minus 0.5, that comes out to be 5. 5 is the class size of this, of the first class, like that. Now what is, there is one more word, that is class marks. Class marks, that is denoted by X. Now class marks is the mid value of any class interval. Mid value means actual of any class interval, and class interval needs to be continuous. So upper plus lower divide by 2, that is the class marks. That is the class marks. So I hope these are the basic things that you needed to know. Now we move on to the questions. Now I'll find out, because all the questions are simply based on this, simply writing the class marks, what is variate and all that. So I'll be doing question number 6 in this exercise only. Now this question number 6 I have taken because it has everything that has been discussed just now. What do they say? I'll read out the question. The marks obtained out of 50 by 40 students, means total number of observation is given to you as 40, and out of 50, marks are out of 50, means none of the marks will be greater than 50, right? Number 1. Now what do they say? These are the marks given below. Taking class interval 1 to 10, 11 to 20, construct a tally chart and a frequency distribution table. So first of all, we will be making a tally chart. For tally chart we will write, first column will be class interval, class intervals, then tally, and then frequency, and then frequency. This is what we have to do in the first part. This is my first part, taking class intervals as 1 to 10. Now first class interval will be 1 to 10, then they say 11 to 20, then next one will be 21 to 30, then 31 to 40, and 41 to 50, not more than 50, because they say marks are only out of 50. It means that the students have been divided into 1 to the 5 groups. First group is from who have scored from 1 mark to 10 marks, second from 11 marks to 20, third from 21 to 30, then 31 to 40, and 41 to 50. Now we will find how many students are 1 to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Means 5 of them have been taken, 5 of the students have scored 1 to 10 marks. 3, 5, and 2, and 1, and 6. 10 is not taken in this, because 10 I have just now explained. If the upper limit is 10, then the 10 will be coming in 11. But right now, because it is a discontinuous, so 10 will come here only. So I am making one more 5 and 1, 6 of them are there, like this. So since this table is a non-continuous one, then we will take 10, this 110 is this and 110 is this. We will be taking these 10. So total number of observations is 7. Now from 11 to 20 we will say 1, 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them are between 11 to 20. Then from 21 to 30, 1, 2, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Frequency is 6. Now 31 to 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 10. And here I found 119. It will be between 11 to 20. So here it comes 8, 8, and I found somewhere here 25 also. 25 will come between 20 to 30. So one more, and here it is 7. This. Now 41 to 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is the frequency table. Now let us see. 7 2s are 14, 14 and 22, 22 and 8, 22 and 8, 22 and 8, 30, 0, 3, 1, 4. This total comes out to be 40. So therefore this is our table. So first part they said taking class intervals 1 to 10 and 11 to 20, construct a tally chart and a frequency distribution table. Now they say convert the above distribution to continuous distribution. Second part they say that this distribution has to be converted to the continuous distribution table. Means this is discontinuous, or so what we used to do, we used to find the adjustment factor, and that adjustment factor was subtracted from the lower limit and added to the upper limit. So I am finding the adjustment factor. What is adjustment factor? Upper limit minus lower limit divided by 2. What was that adjustment factor? We solved that adjustment factor, lower limit and lower limit and upper limit of the previous one. So lower limit, let us say this, I'm taking lower limit of any class you take. So I'm taking of second class, lower limit of a class minus upper limit of previous class upon 2. So when I am taking the second class, the lower limit is 11 and upper limit of the previous class is 10. This is the upper limit, this I will be considering, and 11 will be 11 minus 10 upon 2, that is 1 upon 2, or that comes directly 0.5. So when you convert this class interval will now be 1 minus 0.5 will be 0.5 and 10 plus 0.5 will be 10.5. So similarly 10.5 to 20.5, 20.5 to 30.5 and 30.5 to 40.5 and 40.5 to 50.5, or simply you can say it is 50. So this has been converted into continuous class interval marks, or this has been converted to the continuous distribution table. Third part is state the true class limits of the third class. First, second, third. Now true class limits of the third class will be true class limit. True lower limit is 20.5 and true upper limit is 30.5 of this class interval or third class interval. Then they say state the class marks. Now we know what are class marks. This minus this. Fourth 40.5. Now fourth part they say class marks. Class marks we have to find out. So that will be 40.5 minus 30.5. That comes out to be 10 units. So 10 is the class mark of the fourth class. Class marks, you can say class marks of fourth class. So that is upper limit minus lower limit, that is 10. Now I hope this has been done, and that is in the next class we will be discussing the other types of questions, because this you need to at least watch 2 times so that you can understand the meaning of class mark, class size, class interval, range and everything. And so that is why I have done this question 6. Before this all the questions are based on the theory part, so we are not discussing them. In the next class we will be taking up other questions, maybe 1 or 2 more questions, then we'll move on to the histogram. So till then, stay blessed, keep on studying and watching. Thank you all of you.